Hey y'all, the Paranormal Chick here. So today on episode 5, we are just going to chat a little bit, specifically regarding current events with, I don't know if you guys have seen, but the woman who was on the DFW plane kind of had a meltdown, said she basically saw a person that she said wasn't real and wanted off the plane. There's so many, and I've shared the videos. If you look at my TikTok or my YouTube, you'll see both videos there. The first clip of her that first occurred, and then a longer clip of the full situation that had happened. So there's a lot. People are talking about what she saw, what she could have saw, what it possibly could be. Of course, you have your mental illness, a breakdown. She was on drugs. She was an alcoholic, or she was drunk. Just so many different things. And also the theories of maybe she did see something. Did she see a shapeshifter? She kept saying that the person wasn't real. Was it, there's the reptilian theory. If you don't know what the reptilian theory, or within the UFO community, there is the theory that reptilians, an alien species, has infiltrated humankind, and they've placed themselves within our government, within, other very high-ranking political positions to eventually enslave humankind. Reptilians are said to be shapeshifters. They can shift into the body or form of any human that they choose or lock into. Or, if we're just talking about a normal shapeshifter, not part of the UFO community, not a reptilian theory, a shapeshifter in history is known as a person that can shift into a form of an animal. And I actually kind of mentioned a little bit of this in the werewolf episode. Shapeshifters can be, and are said to be, different types of animals, not just wolves, but they could be bears, they could be lions, they could be even prey animals. Just basically the ability for a human to shapeshift into a creature. And typically they're born that way. So it's more of a natural occurrence. Is it true? Again, it's all in folklore, so that's solely up to you. But back to the woman on the DFW plane. What if she did see something? I've watched the videos and other videos numerous times over and over again, and I can't help but feel like and note that she's a normal woman. A normal, younger woman, just traveling, doing her thing. And I hate to say this, but we do profile people. When we look at you, you're immediately profiled. Whether you want to admit to that or not, people profile people by looking at them. So when you look at her, the first thing you're thinking, okay, does she look, homeless? Does she look like a drug addict? Does she look like she's crazy? How is she acting? And she doesn't. And that's what I keep going back to, is she looks normal, like a normal person traveling. But she's extremely upset. And that's what I keep going back to. Why is she upset? She could have had a mental breakdown. She really could. There has been no explanation. The woman hasn't come forward. So everything right now is speculation. Everything, is rumor, is hearsay. People are saying she was arguing with the passenger next to her that was a black man, and it could be a racist, thing. And then they were saying that it was the flight stewardess that she was saying wasn't real. But we don't know. It's all speculation. It's all hearsay. It's all rumor at this point until the parties impacted come forward. All we have to base on what's going on is the videos and her reaction. How she reacts to whatever she sees. And there is another video floating around of the supposed guy in a green hoodie. That is a total it's a lie. That video from the guy with the green hoodie that they're trying to say is what she saw, that's from 2022 with another woman who freaked out on an American Airlines flight, and they let her off. But that is from 2022. That has nothing to do with the current day video circulating. So I just wanted to put that misconception, clear that up, and put it out there, because I am now seeing the guy with the green hoodie circulate and saying that's who she saw. That's so untrue. It's a completely different video from a year ago. But this woman, we automatically want to start judge and say, yeah, she's drunk, she's high, she's mental breakdown. And that's typically the response we give to anybody that encounters something other, that sees something other, that sees a ghost, that sees, something that they can't explain. Right away, you're crazy. When are we going to stop doing that? And I'm not saying every single person that, has episodes, I'm not saying that every one of them are real. There is true, psychosis out there. There's truly people with schizophrenia, bipolar, that hear and see things in their head. It's a true disease. But not everybody has that. Not everybody who's had their own encounter, their own experience, are automatically schizophrenic. They're not. And we have to stop taking the easy way out when we encounter stuff like this and automatically brush it off as they're drunk, they're high, they're crazy. We really need to stop. That narrative needs to stop. It's played out. We need to start more questioning and not assuming right away, but getting facts. Okay, what's the factual accounting? What happened? Who are the parties involved? That's who we need to hear. We need to hear their stories from everybody, not just from hers, but the party that was involved, the one that was sitting next to her, the stewardess that was involved, and anybody around who could be a first-hand witness to what really happened and what they witnessed. And that's how we're able to determine the truth. But ultimately, it depends. It's up to you. I mean, if we continue to be short-sighted and automatically not give anybody the benefit of the doubt, we're never going to learn the truth. It's easy to just stay in a little bubble of a lie than accept the fact that this world is probably a lot more deeper and bigger than what we even know. What if there really is a world alongside our world of beings that live next door to us and we have no idea? What if all the folklores of the werewolves and vampires and fairies and trolls and goblins and angels and demons, and what if it's true? What if they're real stories that we've all just said, oh, it's folklore, it's a bedtime story, it's made up? What if they're not? What if when we're walking down the street and we see something odd, but then our own mind tries to convince us that what we saw is not what we saw and we brush it off, but it was really something there? What if we caught a glimpse behind that veil of that world that is right alongside ours, but we brush it off as fantasy? It's too much TV, too many sci-fi books. What if it's real? We have children who are born with the ability to do stuff it's a little bit more than what a normal human can do. And I'm talking about telekinesis, being telepathic, I mean, just different things. And not just children, but regular humans. We do have humans that are studied and that have been found to be able to use certain parts of their brain and have these, I'll just call them powers. Does that make them other? Or are they just able to tap into a part of the brain that the rest of us can't? I don't know. I've always questioned the stories. They come from somewhere. We didn't just make them up. Something, in a story, there's always a grain of truth. It's really trying to find that grain of truth is the hard part, because we are storytellers. We love to exaggerate, but it always starts out with a grain of truth. So having to go back through all the old stories and dig through, it's the hard part of trying to find the truth of the whole story itself. But I don't know, that woman, those videos have been bugging me, just because her reaction is actually a normal human reaction to seeing something that's other, something that's unexplainable, something that shouldn't be real, but then you see it for yourself and realize you've been living a lie and everything you've been told is a lie. And it scared her. You could tell it scared her to her core. I just find it all interesting. Is there more out there than what we're being told? And not just aliens, but just everything. Anything that we could see unexplainable. And let's really quick, the unexplained deaths that occur with animals. I've talked about a couple of with Brenda Hamilton, the teacher that was eaten supposedly by a pack of dogs, but they were not able to identify the type of dogs that ate her. Just a lot. That happens a lot, actually. And here in the U.S., worldwide it happens, but we have unexplained animal attacks and deaths against human, but they can't identify the creature. Believe it or not, everything is logged, and DNA is accounted for majority of all the species that we've already identified. That's why when they say they pull DNA, they put it in the database. It's because the database contains all the DNA coding for the animals we've already identified. So we could easily identify if it attacks a human or any other, if something involves animal and we need to be able to identify its DNA, we can. So when they put it in that database and they can't come back with anything matching, but it has, a genocode of a canine, but we don't know what canine. You know how impossible that is? That's impossible. It really is. Oh, it's scary, but fascinating. But it's a good reminder that we have to keep our minds open. We're constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. Things are never the same. And to be able to cope and deal with it as a human being is we have to be open to that change. It's when we're not that chaos reigns. But I'll leave it here. I'll end it here. You guys tell me what you think. My next episode will be more of the storytelling and more stories to bring, but this one I just had to hop on here because that video is just, her reaction is just it's not the norm. And it's such a real, honest to God reaction of fear and terror. Like I said, if you haven't seen the video, you can on my TikTok or my YouTube, The Paranormal Chick, you'll see it there. It's trending. Everybody's, putting in their own thoughts and opinions. Right now, it's all hearsay, rumor. We don't know until the parties come forward and we can actually interview or talk to them. But just watching the video, it makes me question more. As always, until the next episode, hope you like this one. Give me your thoughts. I want to hear it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Stay safe, y'all. Bye.